Hello viewers, bad news. They're trying to block this service. Now I gotta explain why does it happen and what can we do. Despite I'm not really sure I'll manage to upload this video. There are at least four powers that pretend for the world domination, and it's possible to say that they've united to two coalitions for now. But it's quite possible that they gotta be foes to each other later. Maybe there will be three-sided conflict. That seems to be quite possible, but at this moment there are in two coalitions. And within this confrontation, they want to leave us without the service. But what the essence of the blocking? The one who committed slowing down says that this service deletes those who says truth and spreads lie. I must know that huge services have their political position and they furthering those who support it and delete those who oppose it. But when those who say that someone's getting deleted here, they say it as if they don't delete people for some wrong position on their services. This video service is a useful propaganda tool for one and harmful for the other. But problem is, this is a world service that has content of different subjects and on different languages. They want to move us to a national service that barely has any content, that has only one language, and per some users the service works clumsily. So what should we do? The minimal measure I can offer is to not visit their sites. That, as they say, is an alternative. I can show you the list of a few sites. I'm not really sure that it's a full list, but at least try to not visit them. But guess that it isn't enough. It's a passive measure. There must be some active measure. You know, when presidential elections happens, there's way to protest against candidates it is not to come to the elections. But if you won't come to the elections, it won't be clear if you're protesting or if you just don't care. But if you will come and vote for more than one candidate, then none of the candidates will get vote, and thus you will protest. What active measure is there in the internet? Well, it is to increase activity here and use the hashtag. And the hashtag might be used not only here but on other sites, even on the sites of opponents, and even in offline. But one thing I'm sure about is at the sites of opponents they gotta delete the hashtag. One more idea I have is to call to those who supply with the internet and say that the video service doesn't work. They're not gonna repair the service, but then more people gotta call and say that the service doesn't work, then more people will be instead of those who don't like the slowing down, and maybe it will decrease likelihood of blocking the service. In the internet they're writing that some users denouncing relations with providers that don't allow to watch beloved video service. So let us sum up what can we do. First is to not make traffic to platforms that being positioned as alternatives. Second, to increase activity here. Third, to complain to your provider. Fourth is probably to change your provider, maybe even refuse of the internet. It's a stiff measure and I don't know if it will work. Well, also there's idea that we should duplicate our materials to some other platform. I even had an idea to duplicate my materials to the platform that being positioned as an alternative. But since they act so brazenly, I can't make traffic for him. There's another place where I probably should go. By the way, they tried to block that place 6 years ago as well, but failed. Maybe they will fail now too, but I'm afraid that 6 years ago they practiced well. Maybe I could make my own site. I had an idea to make a site, but what would there be at that site? I don't know. Guess that site is not something interesting by now. It wasn't something interesting even 10 years ago. It was probably solidly to have a site 20 years ago. Well, 30 years ago, the internet was used probably only by scientists. Well, anyway, we must resist to the blocking. They want to leave us without different content of different subjects and on different languages, and that's all just to switch one lie to the other.